Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk, thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. I got something nice for you today. I went and picked up an old book and got a lesson out there I think is appropriate for the right now, so I'm going to slide one in on you. Hope you enjoy it. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life, through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. A person who knows, so I asked the question, excuse me. I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to Maat, be true. Right thinkers, let's talk about what they call yoga of action. This is from the initiation book into Egyptian yoga, okay? And what it says here, it's a Maat philosophy. So get ready. Yeah, you know that's my girl. No one reaches the beneficent West without being enlightened. Why? Unless their heart is righteous. And how could that be? By doing Maat. The land of Asar is heaven. Remember, when you make it through the halls of Maat, you go into the shrine and you go into hang out with Asar. And if your heart is light as a feather, when you take your seat on the crown, you meld right into him and become one with him again. That's going back to your maker. So right thinkers is called you speak Maat and you do Maat. Let's talk about it. That's what I do. When you see me doing this, that's me showing Maat respect. Same way y'all say amen at the end of the prayer, I show Maat the same respect. And watch this. If you learn and understand Maat, oh, you have respect for her too. Yoga of action. It implies acting according to the Maat teachings of mystical wisdom. Maat throughout your normal day-to-day activities. When you're going to practice Maat, you do it daily. That's what they're telling you. It can't be haphazardly, willy-nilly when you want to, how you feel. It's got to be done daily. It keeps what? Your mind occupied with what? With thoughts which are uplifting, positive, right thinking, same concept. That's where it comes from. It is especially useful for what? For calming the externalized restlessness mindset and it redirecting your thought patterns away from what? Dwelling on mental complexes, meaning worrying about things that you can't change. That's the first thing. Clear your mind of worrying. And in order to allow, by doing this, you allow your mind what? Time to now integrate where its higher desires to what? Overcome the difficulties through personality integration, meaning you're able to handle any situation you're confronted with when you gain self-mastery and you live in balance in Maat. Your mental complexes will intensify rather than resolve. Why? If dwelt upon, meaning constantly think about something that you really can't change, you're not going to change that concept. So let it go. Again, let go and let God. Anything that you can't control, give it to God. If that's your philosophy, trust me, practice it. It works. Why? Because if dwelled upon constantly, many people have learned through experience, the best teacher, that when there is a difficult problem, which will still be there in the following day, but it is better, watch this, I just told you, to sleep on it. That's the way you let go and let God. Once you go to sleep, now you don't let it go. And God will take it over. That's all. So when you wake up in the morning, what happened? It's like the clouds of egoism, which had you all bogged down, are now no longer there. You let it go. Such as during what? Your deep sleep, or in an advanced practitioner like Maat of yoga, the rays of the self can now shine where? Through and illumine one's consciousness. You becoming enlightened. You're getting smarter with understanding, and you reach the level of Hotep, supreme peace within oneself. You can claim happy all that, no. But when you reach it from internal and good deeds and actions in your life, that's supreme peace. Why? That's you coming to one with God. That's why. And that's eternal. Again, it must be emphasized what? That this experience of peace or Hotep is not an all or nothing experience. Why? Because it occurs in degrees. It's a process. Get a little bit, what they say. God don't give you no more than you can handle. So as you progressing, you can get a little more. That's the way it goes. And watch this. You may still even find yourself feeling entrapped and agitated from time to time. That's normal. But now, in addition to these ego-based feelings, okay, you have an increased sensitivity to what? You ready for this? To that voice of wisdom where? With inside your head. That little voice, watch this. When you're ignorant, you're deaf, you're numb to that. You don't hear it. But the more enlightened you get, you start to hear it. And watch this. This is the voice which repeats what they call heka, words of power, mantra, phrases that you use. Mine is I do what I do for you, okay? Or prayers, and reflects on the nature of your true essence when the ego wants to tie the mind up with what? Worries, imaginations, a bunch of nonsense. Now you are able to what? Hear that voice repeating, I am fearless. I have all the resources within me to withstand and rise above any life situation. Again, having the understanding of that puts you in that frame of mind. So come what may, adversity, situation, you're going to deal with them with integrity, respect, and stand firm and committed on what you know to be. That's all you got to do. They call it being steadfast. I am fearless, okay? Watch this. Even this seemingly impossible situation, and the most seemingly impossible situation, is in line with what? With my attaining spiritual enlightenment. And it too, like the clouds in the sky, blocking the rays of the sun, will pass away. My mother's favorite phrase is, this too soon shall pass. Now I understand it. When you're giving advice from an elder, and you going through it, you really don't want to hear it. You really ain't trying to hear it. But it's true. It's a fact. But when you go through it, now you know for yourself. And that advice you're going to what? Use. And then what? Pass on. If you got something worth something, you don't hoard it. You don't store it. You give it away. I'm here every day doing just that. Moving on. See where I'm going with this? So now watch this. In the beginning, stages of what? You're practicing Maat, right thing, philosophy, yoga. When you are not very in tune, when you're not really in tune to what? Listening to that spiritual voice, that inner voice. I said, you may not experience much peace. You don't know how to control your mind. You don't know how to let go. You aren't practicing meditation. You're not communing with your higher self. So all this stuff makes the mind agitated and it makes the heart heavy. Remember, heavy in the heart, not good. Purifying, lightening the heart, good. Get the concept? But however, as you choose to what? Listen. Now, as you get better, when you say choose to listen to that voice more and more, what happened? And you indulge in daily prayer, which is fine. You use words of Heka, which is powerful words, again, in prayer, mantras. But meditation, and now you have other spiritual disciplines of yoga more than you indulge what? Yourself in egoistic practices. Work with him, not with him. Get the concept? You will notice, watch this, it's important. Everything is about you. You will notice where within yourself there's now a river of peace, newfound faith, and security, and you have a devotion to which will eventually overflow and wash away what? All your ego-based emotions from your personality. When you're getting better, you're conquering the ego by cutting down your lust, your greed, your envy, your jealous characters of your personality. You feel better about yourself. You're doing better, and the ego will have to take a back seat. It will if you do just that. Thus, watch this. You know what they call that? This, when you do that, well, your ego base for your person. This is the victory of Christ. No, Horus. Over Set. That's your higher self over your lower self. Same thing I say, victory in Christ. The same thing. So I'm not beat for that. If you doing that, we in the same boat. Moving on. Now, we call it Haru over Set. That's the higher self over lower self within your personality. That's the moral war that goes on in all of us. Remember, Set, Haru, Set, the appendage on the side, same body, from the neck up makes the difference. Okay, moving on. Hope you get the concept. I'm right down here. Okay, personality. Now, to the extent, I'm almost there, that you are able to what? Control, you ready? Your emotions, such as your temper, your inner war, that moral war that between what? Your higher self and your lower self. I love this. Will not affect others around you. Why? It's internal. Everything going on inside you ain't got to do with nobody else, okay? But however, you know it's always a however, there may be an already established tendency for what? To lash out at people around you when things are not going good. We have the tendency to what? Do just that. Lash out to people who are around us, our loved ones, our children, our wives, whatever. But we tend to take on those around us. Not good, okay? That's called, they suffering from what they call collateral damage. One should do one's best. What? To supplement this tendency of lashing out, angrily at people. You got to control that. And now to remain what? Focused on what? The negative and the positive forces that's battling where? Within yourself. I keep telling you, within oneself. And your job is to work to what? Establish Maat. Where? Within oneself. Live, eat, sleep, drink, Maat. Why? This can be a difficult task in the beginning when one is so used to what? Looking outside of him or herself for what? Answers and means to solve their life's problem. Therapists, counselors, somebody to help them out. Your best counselor is already inside you, built in. Watch this. When you look outside your life for means to solve your problems and blaming, a lot of times we blame others for what we do. In essence, what you're doing. In essence, blaming your spouse, your children, the church. How you gonna blame the church? Childhood, parents, country, political and religious leaders. Everybody's fault, right? For what? The occurrence of your problems. If it's your problem, you're the cause of it. And if you're the cause of the problem, You got to be the solution for the problem. Ain't nobody gonna come and stop. No. Jesus ain't coming back. No, don't believe. You got to do it for yourself. Become your hero. Remember, Haru means short for hero. That's you taking care of your lower self and being the hero and getting the victory over oneself. That moral victory that goes inside us all, good or bad. Situations, again, this is part of right. Situations in life can only affect you if what? If it's in line with your karma, watch this, for that to occur. What you mean? Therefore, it is no accident or no one other was fault for what? Your responsibilities. No one but your own, regardless to what situations, be it good or bad, you're still responsible. You're the common denominator, and you may find whatever it is, situation that you find yourself in, always responsible. Always think about what role you play in that position. In my ex-marriages, I played half the problem. I ain't got a problem with that. I'll be responsible for my half. That's all you can do. Understand that. When you're doing that, you're doing your job. Responsibility. Take responsibility for your actions, be they good or bad. I wasn't always a good guy. Okay? None of us starts out good. Okay? But watch this. When we have to take responsibility. Now, you may not be able to see how your actions of this life could have what? Results in your current circumstances. But remember this. These situations are only occurring as the result in actions not only of this lifetime, but previous ones. The body has memory. Okay? But so your attitude towards what? Dealing with all negative predicaments of your life should be one of what? Your personal responsibility. Take responsibility for whatever. If you want it to be good, you do good work. Reap what you sow. If it's good, you'll be rewarded. If it's not, you'll be punished. Karma. Okay? And you are the forbearer of all said actions by you. Again, be they good or bad. But there is no need to feel bad or blame yourself or others. Why? Because blame and bad feelings are all ego-based viruses. It's a virus. Okay, it's not good. Which will what? Infect the mind and further debilitate it from thinking clear, logic, and rational. The ego has no understanding of God. It's edged God out. It's on its own. And if you let it run you on your own again, and you'll be suffer the consequences of all the actions. Well, I didn't know. That's not going to be enough to get you out of being punished for the action that you did. Monday morning quarterbacks are winless for that reason. And when you are typing, okay, for a perfect example, in life, I know how to type. I still type to the day. And if I hit the wrong key, I know in my mind, I didn't hit, I hit something else. I got to go back, hit backspace, erase it, put it back in. Back in my day, they had a little thing called type out, white out or something. You put it down, then you hit the key, and it covers take the black mark out. You can go back and do it again. That's how far back I go. Typewriters wasn't electric; they was manual. I was banging them, pow, pow. I had to bust the keys out. But I know the home keys for that purpose. But they're telling you when you are typing and you make a mistake, you don't spend a lot of time blaming yourself and having regrets about made an error. Use that philosophy in life. Why? That's the same concept. What you do, you simply make the correction. You correct your error. Know what you did wrong. Understand it was wrong. Suffer the consequences. Don't get pat. You're going to have to suffer the consequences of that action. But now you what? You carry on. The process with life should be similar. Pray for strength. That's cool. Pray to endure and to transcend all situations and to be put forth what? You have to put forth the effort. How? Why? To correct the error you made in your belief or your thinking, which what? Predispose you to have said situation. It's a manifestation of your life, and it's all up to you again. You dictate that with patience and insight into the fact of your true underlying boundless essence of your higher self, aka God. When you get to know him and you are one, you can overcome all obstacles. And that what y'all say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You can do all things with knowledge of self. That also strengthens you. That's what the power is. And having knowledge and know how to use it. Let's go. I'm about to wrap it up. I see the clock. But if you do not accept personal responsibility, a lot of us right there, that's the problem. You won't accept responsibility for your life. Who will? Ain't got that much time. I can't wait. But then what happens? If you don't, then you will never look to find that which may be in error in your thought process. You believe, here you go. Those who don't know, but believe and think they know, this is their thought process and their behavior, which will predispose them to what? Their experiences of what? Failures, wrong actions, fetters, self-imposed problems that they caused on themselves. And there will be no chance for you to improve your life situations. That means you stuck on stupid. That's not a good place to be. You're not getting better. You ain't trying to get better. You continue to do the same thing. You know them kind of people? You know what I say? If you don't know one, excuse me. I know my right thinkers and not none of them. I know that's none of my right thinkers. But if you do not, listen to me good. If you do not learn the spiritual discipline lessons to control the situations here to teach you for that purpose in life, you're here to learn a lesson through what? Your own experiences. You are setting yourself up, what? To have the experience. You ready? Repeat itself again, aka reincarnate. If you don't learn life lessons, I'm giving you life lessons daily. Why? Because that's what you need to learn to master oneself. Other than that, you will be doing this again. I'm just saying. No exceptions. Okay, this is the nature of what they call karmic process. You reap what you sow. You only gonna get out what you put in. You're only gonna get back what you put out. Excuse me. If you're depositing in the bank of blessing, I mean you're doing right, you're living right, putting yourself in good position. Why? Because when it's time, when adverse hits you in life, you're gonna what? Need that blessing. And if you got some stacked up, you shouldn't be in the panic mode, freaking out. Why? That's what you stack them up for. And if you serving right now, God, and all them blessings you got stacked up, however it is, when you need them, He should give them to you right now. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. And that's the concept. Why? Because the karmic process upon which the world process is set up. That's the way the world is set up. Okay? That ain't man's law. That's nature. God's law. And these experiences are not meant to be what? Painful or to make you bitter. No. Each of these experiences is to give you what? The opportunity. I always said, I don't want you to give me nothing but opportunity. I get it myself. I can put the effort forth and do what I got to do. All I need is opportunity, okay? And to practice said opportunity and to secure your spiritual qualities, bettering yourself by practicing Maat philosophy when daily, such as you have to master these qualities of yourself. Patience, equanimity, dispassion, detachment, and my favorite, universal love, and freedom from what? Resentment when persecuted or wronged, and all of the other precepts of the 42 confessions of my girl, Maat. When you can stand firm and committed on what you know to be, you ain't worried about what they say or how they think and feel about what it is you're doing, if what you're doing is right, because He is the one that's going to recognize it and He's the one going to bless you. Them not liking it or hating on it can't do nothing but just that. Not liking it and hate on it. They don't control it. Moving on. The highest practice, listen to this, the highest practice of karma is right thinking philosophy, aka Maat yoga, occurs where? In the state of, you ready? Enlightenment. When there is no attachment to the fruits of your actions. Selfless service is the name of the game. I do this without worrying about what I'm getting in return from anyone who I give it to. You don't owe me nothing. Just use it. And work is performed in harmony, okay, with one's true nature. I'm a teacher. I'm doing what I love to do, and without dependency on what? The results. If I worried about the views over the message and content of my text, I'll be back shit crazy. Why? Because they're not good. They're not high. It ain't how many, okay? Understand that. It ain't about the results of the views. It's about those who get it in the comments that they leave behind. Let me know they're getting the message. That's better than a whole bunch of views. So, be they good or bad, and I get some bad comments. I've been put in position. You don't know that. Yeah, okay. And respectfully, appreciate your opinion. You're entitled. Okay. The old me would have went back. I'm getting better at that again. I tell you, I'm learning as I go through life. I'm getting better. But you go through and do what you do, no matter what the results, not worrying about the results, be they good or bad. From a practical standpoint, again, I'm going to do this tomorrow, next week, and until I see reason not to, or he see reason not to have me doing it. But my main thing is what? Living a right livelihood, okay? The practice of Maat philosophy and making a living in such a way as to what? You benefit, and those who are getting your lessons and practicing also benefit from the philosophy of the Maat and right thinking philosophy. Yoga of action, and more importantly, selfless service. Action is you doing something. And your IRE is based on that's you doing something. If it's good, you'll be rewarded. If it's bad, you'll be punished. Moving on. But your actions also implies what? Also implies a balanced movement. That's what Maat represents. And your scheduling of time for what? Your spiritual practices, aka meditation time, to allow your spiritual discipline to take over, as well as your other practical duties on a day-to-day basis. You live it and avoid extremes. Why? Because they are to be avoided, because they also cause intensification of mental complexes. If you go too far one way, that's not good. Be it good or bad. Too much anything is not good. Remember, equanimity, balance, understanding right from wrong, and doing what you know to be right. And the physical desire, the desired movement is relaxed and deliberate. Why? Because your intensification of what? Self-effort. You putting forth the work according to what? The capacity of every individual. What you know, the more you know, the better you can do. If you knew better, you can do better. So you obtain what? Knowledge to do better for what? Oneself, in order to what? Know or master thyself. That's the lesson. And the mindset is you reap what you sow. If you put good out, you got to get good in return. That's my philosophy. That's what I live by, my philosophy. That's the lesson. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100, and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you who passed away. I'll be back. Oh, I got more.